right now, and it's because if you're a two-way coach in the area, you do not want to see this Manual Rams team in the playoffs. Doesn't matter what their record is, because as you said, John, 5 straight losses, but by a combined 20 points over those 5 games, and all of them to really, really solid teams, and I believe the last one was Morton.
Yes, I was. I was at that Morton game last Saturday. Dietrich Richardson had a chance to win it at the horn, just rimmed out. Again, this Manual team, even though they have 10 losses, they are not to be taken lightly, and no team knows that better than Peoria High. Two long-standing rivals, so much history, so many people here in this gym. This is going to be a packed house here. The Lions Den crowd still filing in. Great night here in Peoria. We're glad that you're with us here on CIProud.com. Again, he's Dalton Carmine. I'm Jonathan Michael. Players taking the floor now. We'll talk more about the big players and what to watch for tonight. After we take a quick break, again, you're watching the WMBD Game of the Week here on CIProud.com.
We are Local Union 649. Our commitment to safety, our state-of-the-art training facility, and our pride in the work we do to build America is what makes us stand out from the rest. We are Local 649 of the International Union of Operating Engineers, and we are looking for the next generation of equipment operating apprentices. With Local 649, you'll find more than a career. You'll find a family, creating legacies since 1917.
At Ham's Furniture, we have your comfortable, affordable recliners, mattresses, and more. And we offer free local delivery.
Hi, I'm Russ at Ham's Furniture, inviting you to stop in and see what's new today.
Ham's Furniture at 347 Court Street in downtown Pekin.
And welcome back to the Lions Den. Only a couple minutes away from tip-off here between Peoria High and Manual. Tell your friends, tell your family, tune in. This is going to be some of the best basketball you might see in the entire regular season. Who knows what's in store tonight. But again, as we mentioned, two rivals in the Big 12 here. Let's take a look at the Big 12 standings. Normal Communities on top right now, but Peoria High just right behind.
Yeah, as of right now, you can clearly see it's Normal Communities Conference to lose as of right this second, but there is plenty of time for all of that to get shaken up before we head into the postseason. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if either of these two teams, finish in that 1, 2, or 3 spot.
Most definitely. And again, we've talked so much about the history. Let's take a look at the history books and just take a look and see. There's 10 combined state titles between these two teams. Manual's run during the 90s, obviously a big one. Everyone remembers that. Peoria High, they're not going to let you forget about when they won their state titles. They have paintings on the wall. There's on the floor. There's the trophies outside. And again, these two teams have the number 1 and number 2 most state trophies in IHSA history. And both these teams can make it back down to Champaign this year.
Yeah, don't let anybody tell you that Peoria is not a basketball city, because it absolutely is. These kids, they grow up with basketball in their blood. It's all they know. It's all they love, and they grow up playing it each and every winter and ready to do battle. And as you said, John, both these teams being in Champaign would not surprise me in the slightest.
Most definitely not. And we talked to you before the break. We said we'd talk about the key players in this one. Well, I was a little surprised about what the matchup is going to be tonight. Dietrich Richardson versus LaShawn Stowers. Dalton, 2 Division I players right there, 2 of the best players in the entire city, arguably in all of Central Illinois. Plays out tonight. What are you expecting between the matchup of those two?
I mean, an absolute battle. They're very similar players. Both of them are kind of that guard forward. They can handle the ball. They can go down on the post. They fly high and grab rebounds. They know when to pass the ball. They're very similar players, and I know Richardson got the best of Stowers last time out. Let's see if he can do that again here today on the road.
Just a few minutes away from tip-off. Stay with us, taking a quick break for the national anthem, and we'll be right back here from the Lions Den. Always fun when you have the national anthem sung to you live, and what a great time and what a great place to have a great singer singing it for you live here in the Lions Den. Manual starting lineup being introduced now. Let's take you through it. Starts off with a junior guard, Reggie Postlewaite. He'll be playing alongside the aforementioned Dietrich Richardson. Joining them is Josh Humbles, a junior swingman, and then Terrence Page, a senior forward. And number 33, who we do not have on our roster. Actually, no, that's Amari Breedlove. Pardon. So Breedlove rounding it out for Rams. It's a group that there's a lot of people here, Manual, they think guards, but there are some forwards that can make you pay too.
Yes, certainly, and I've seen lots of experience. Everybody in there is a junior or a senior, and I think the coaching staff really trusts all of them to handle the ball well, and that's really crucial in a game like today where turnovers could potentially lose you the game in a game that you would really like to win.
And for Peoria High, their starting five goes like this. It's Spencer Russell, a player that we've called many times during the history of Clutch Sports Media, basketball, football, all-around athlete. He leads it off as a 6'1 senior guard. Stephen Williams, a junior at 6 foot, will be joining him as well. TJ Sturdivant, 5'9 senior guard. And then Phoenix Foy, a 6'5 junior forward. And the big man, LaShawn Stowers, 6'5 senior. It's crazy to see, for me personally, saying, I saw LaShawn Stowers play since he was about a freshman or a sophomore. He is a really grown man right now. He just is very built. As for Richardson, he's a little bit more wiry. Going to be an interesting matchup again between those two tonight.
Yeah, and this could really be one of two things. It could just be an absolute battle between Dietrich and Stowers down low on the block, or it could be a battle between them out beyond the arc, or it could be a battle of the complementary players. We've seen that oftentimes throughout the course of the season from both teams. So a lot of different ways that both these coaching staffs can attack the opponent here today. And as you said many times, John, and I'm just going to say it again, it's going to make for a fantastic basketball game. Here we go.
Ready to go, and the tip-off goes to Peoria High. Is Williams bringing it up, now hands it off to Spencer Russell. Stowers being guarded by Postlewaite in the corner and not Richardson. Here's Russell driving it on Page into some traffic, finds the open man. Lions patient possession here. We could see a all-out rock fight tonight, Dalton, to get two very strong defensive teams. As Stowers is fade away, nothing but net.
Wow, and that's just fantastic defense by the Rams. Better offense by Stowers and the Lions. The closeouts were absolutely perfect that entire possession, but no shot clock in the high school game yet. Nice patience from the Lions.
Here's Postlewaite. Now over to Humbles on Manuel's first possession. Back up top, Richardson. He's being guarded by Russell, so no Stowers versus Richardson matchup this time around yet. Richardson goes for two.
That's what he can do. He's a three-level scorer. He gets 2 feet in those paint. That ball's going to the hoop more times than not.
Russell got a step off the glass. No good. Saved by Breedlove. Now it's Richardson to bring it back up. And both the times these teams faced off, first time was 55-54 in favor of Peoria. Last time, 47-43 in favor of Manual. It could be first one to 50 tonight, Dalton.
I would definitely agree.
Foy nearly got that rebound. Now here comes Stowers chugging up the way. Foy drops it in.
Now that is what a credible find from LaShawn Stowers. Everybody thought he was going up with it. That no-look dish to his teammate down there on the block, Phoenix Foy, for an easy 2 and an early lead for the Lions. And that's off Richardson.
And indeed it is. It will go back to the Lions. So Sturdivant will inbound. Manuel not really pressing much right now, but these two teams are pressing just so much of their identity. Probably going to see that ratchet up later in the game, but right now probably saving their legs for when they do that later on.
Yeah, and don't want to get yourself into foul trouble either, too, John. Don't want to get over aggressive when you don't need to.
It's Russell. Now Sturdivant penetrates. He kicks out. Williams thought about it. Emmanuel's been playing some good defense. Hard screen there by Foy. He can't hang on to it. Goes back to the Rams.
Yeah, one turnover each there, and that's not really a part of either of these teams' games. They're very high-flying and athletic, but they both do a really nice job of taking care of the ball. Good defense from both sides.
Now here's Humbles. Foy takes it away. He's been active on defense. And we talked before this one, Dalton, as Russell comes in transition. Sturdivant's three, too strong. Back to Foy, though. He's a player that doesn't quite always get the credit he deserves. Very key player for Daniel Ruffin as Postlethwaite nearly had it.
Yeah, Foy down there on the block, gets a little overshadowed sometimes by Stowers, but he's equally as important. And when he's on, Peoria High rarely loses.
Goes back to Stowers.
A little bit of sloppy play here from both sides. A little unexpected, but I think that the jitters and the energy may be getting to both sides here in the early going. Completely understandable. Here's a three from the corner.
That one rattles out. Rims have been a bit unkind so far. Gonna need that precision touch here tonight. You can only imagine what the adrenaline's like for both these teams right now. The third time you've already faced the season. Packed house, playing against kids that you've played with since grade school. I mean, this is just high-level basketball. That's a high-level shot from the Bradley commit, Dietrich Richardson.
High level indeed. And to your earlier point, John, both these, specifically the seniors, this is their last time playing against the opposing seniors, and presumably they grew up playing against each other, just like they grew up playing with their teammates. Empty possession there for the Lions. Is now Rams at their way, can possibly get to the rim, and he is body checked before he can do anything. And yeah, I believe they're going to get LaShawn Stowers for 21 on the body check. So manual ball under the basket. And for LaShawn Stowers, you don't want to get any fouls, but that's fine to get as long as you don't get your next foul within the next 3:45, which is what we have remaining in the first quarter.
That's definitely a good point, Dalton. That's the first foul of this game. Postlethwaite was blocked from behind.
Beautiful. I said high flying, and I meant it. Going up and getting the block were the Lions.
Now Stowers getting tough with it. Lays it in off the glass.
He's starting to feel it. If you're Emmanuel, you got to stay in front of Stowers or he's going to finish at the rim.
Richardson crosses over on Russell. Another mid-range. Nearly got it to fall. His shot, though, was looking very good tonight,
It does
Dalton.
indeed. You take that one 10 times out of 10 because more often than not, that's going in.
Postlethwaite hounding Stowers. Now it's Breedlove. Double leaves Foy open. He's on Richardson and lays it home.
That's Stowers to Foy connection, really making its presence known early, and that could be key for a Lions victory here tonight.
Layup rims out there from Humbles.
Like the way Humbles is taking care of the ball. He's gotten to the rim a couple times, made some smart passes. Got to get the lid off of it.
Humbles is the guy that can really take the game over. Earlier this season, he exploded for 34 in a win over Dunlap. Floater from Sturdivant and a good box out from Breedlove. Humbles hands it off to Tony Bradford, key junior into the game. That duo is going to be big for the Rams next season. Breedlove working on Foy, and he walled him up.
Yeah, great defense there by Foy, not fouling and just going straight up because he knows he's the bigger and stronger athlete. Good D, and the Lions with a chance to extend the lead to 6 or 7.
So it's Sturdivant. He'll slow things down. Stowers palming it with Humbles on him. Screen finds Foy. He's got 6.
Man, it's just patience. It's just lulling the defense to sleep, going in and finding the open man for Peoria. They have done a great job of just reading the defense and making the correct passes thus far. And they could just keep the ball out of the opposition's hands. They're going to wait it out and get a shot that they like.
So 10-4 Peoria lead. Manuel trying to stop a mini run here for the Lions. Lions led 11-0 to kick off the last game and came back and won. That shot is good from Postlethwaite.
Yeah, this game is not going to be over until that fourth quarter buzzer hits 0. Both teams are going to battle it out. No team's rolling over and just taking an L easily.
Sturdivant faces some pressure. Here's a takeaway. Breedlove Got fouled, but it wasn't called. Now it's Bradford getting aggressive, and he will get bumped. There's that pressure there from Manuel. As soon as they cross the half-court line, that is the perfect spot to bring that double. You really have not many places to go.
Exactly, yeah. They just have so much length, so much athleticism. So that foul's going to go on Sturdivant on the body check. And Manuel, if they can just move the ball around efficiently and create open shots, they're going to hang right with the Lions.
So Humbles will check out for Manuel. Jaquan Brown comes in. And this is a Manuel team that has so much depth. They can go 10 deep, maybe even more at times. Here's Bradford in the corner. Air ball.
I don't hate the shot from Bradford. Just got a little bit ahead of himself and put too much on it as the Lions slow it down and head the other way. Just under a minute to go in our first quarter.
And glad you're tuned in. State-ranked matchup. Lions number 10 in Class 3A. Manuel number 8 in Class 2A. They're the only team in the entire state to still be ranked despite having double-digit losses. That's a testament to the respect that they have, that they've played a tough schedule. Russell shot rims out. Brown, and he got hacked.
Yes, he did, and that's just, you could see immediately Spencer Russell patting his chest saying, my bad, coach. That's not one you want to commit, the full court length away from the basket, but it's all right. Rams looking to cut into that 4-point lead before the end of our first quarter.
Might be the last possession of the frame here for Manuel. As Richardson sets things up. Again, he's got 4. Postlethwaite has the other 2. It's been Phoenix Foy, in case you're just tuning in, who's been the difference maker so far in this one with 6 for the Lions. Richardson just blows by Russell, and he got fouled. It's very quickly now.
And they're going to get Stowers. That's his second.
Yeah.
Yep. Storyline brewing, perhaps, as doesn't look like they're going to sub him out. I guess you just wait until the end of the first quarter. But, yeah, that's 2 on Stowers.
And they're going to say that's in the well, it looks like Richardson was ready to shoot. I thought they called it in the act of shooting. It didn't appear that way initially.
No, he dished the ball off to the low block, so I don't think you can call that a shooting foul. And, yeah, the referee's got it correct there.
Plenty of time to set something up, though. Into Page, back to Richardson. He dials one up. Tightly contested, no good. Here's Peoria High, blocked away by Richardson. That was Nigel Moore who just tried to baseball throw it down the floor, but Richardson swats it away. It's 10-6 Peoria High. Fast-paced action here from the Lions Den. Back for the second on CIProud.com.
The Bob Grimm way starts with us.
The Bob Grimm experience, what I like is that, you put customers first, make sure we meet every expectation and make a long-lasting relationship with them so that, they know that we're here for them and for their friends and family.
Don't try to put someone in a car that is not going to work for them. If you don't have what they want, try to get it, the proper vehicle. Again, just treat people the way you'd want to be treated and a fair deal.
That's the Bob Grimm way.
Sweep-A-Lot takes care of your pavement sweeping needs for your parking lot or landscape. Sweep-A-Lot is backed by Purdue Pavement Solutions, trusted for paving, sweeping, and parking lot maintenance.
And welcome back to Peoria High. And get a quick look. CSM Overtime. You can follow your school and the stories you care about. Subscribe today using the QR code there on your screen. CSM Overtime, your sports, your teams, your stories all in one place. And that QR code will send you to clutchsportsil.com/overtime to subscribe. Plenty of content there, Dalton. It's only going to increase with the playoffs coming up. Hard to believe we're already at that point.
Just about to say there's no better time as we head into the playoffs. And it's not like football where only some of the teams make the playoffs. Everyone's making the playoffs, John. Everybody's got a chance to do the unthinkable, go on that Cinderella run. So, yeah, Clutch Sports Media Overtime on the website is the place to be.
We'll definitely be following these two teams in their playoff runs for sure, as a backcourt foul goes on Terrence Page. He was trying to hound Russell a little bit. That'll be Manuel's first foul of the game. And Dalton, I want to bring up a certain point while I have a quick second. This Manuel team, they play very smart, and I was looking at a lot of these players, their Twitter accounts, or X accounts, you could say, earlier today, and A lot of these Manual players have their GPA in their bio. There are some smart cookies on that team. A lot of high GPAs, 4.0, 4.3s. I mean, these Rams players are some of the smartest kids in their entire school.
Student athletes, John, and the coaching staffs just drill that into them. Without school, you are not an athlete, so that has to take priority, and these kids understand that, but don't let that fool you. They can clearly get it done on the court just as well as they can in the classroom.
Especially when you have the talent that the Rams have, and the Lions too as well for that matter. Could lump both those teams in the conversation. Knowing that, you have a good chance to, maybe go on and play in college somewhere, that probably is a good motivator to help you keep your grades up as well. A lot of good students on the court here tonight. Stowers tried to feed it to Williams, and it went out.
Yeah, good defense by Jaquan Brown, not giving up on that play and making it tough for Stowers to hit that outlet pass. So another sloppy turnover. Had quite a few of those here in the early going. Completely understandable with all the adrenaline that you mentioned. But regardless, Manual retakes over possession.
Taj Tolliver into the game and with the ball now, playing catch with Bradford up top. And we mentioned the Rams' depth. Peoria High has got plenty of depth as well, and some very good freshmen, as they're going to whistle a travel there on the Rams.
Yeah, I think the Rams wanted a jump ball there, but just a couple too many steps taken, and yeah, that's another turnover, as I think both teams are getting near 5 on the game thus far. We just started the second quarter.
So now one of those freshmen we mentioned, Orlando Edwards, has got the ball now for Peoria High. Takes it right into the teeth of the Manual D, and Page was ready for him.
Hey, I like it. The freshman coming off the bench going to the rack. I don't mind that at all.
Tolliver elevates for a smooth-looking mid-range. Pretty-looking shot to get his team within 2.
And Tolliver reminding everybody that the mid-range is a lost art. He could have taken a couple steps back and chucked a 3 or tried to find somebody cutting to the rim, but he said, I'm open, I'm going to shoot it. Got a good result.
Back in my playing days, which were not quite very illustrious, I did love the mid-range. And Russell, I'm not sure if they're going to count that one.
They are not.
But a good effort nonetheless on the offensive glass. He will get 2 shots regardless. So Russell, he provided a first quarter spark last time these two teams faced off. Scored 8 of his team high 14 in the first quarter. First one's no good. And as much as we talk about Stowers and we talk about Richardson, yeah, this game could very well be decided by, those supplemental players, those complementary role players in this one.
Without a doubt, John. There's really no telling, because both of these teams are just loaded with players that the coaching staffs trust up and down the roster, whether it's the 3rd man, the 4th man, or the 5th man off the bench. Everybody's coming out there. They're giving 100%. They're keeping their team in the game. And that's kind of been a lost art in the high school basketball realm, and very impressive. And I think it goes to show how good these coaching staffs are and how smart these players are.
Good length there from Duffin, stripped it away, but now Tolliver gets it right back. A lot of turnovers so far in this one as Bradford sees an opening. Nice dish. But Page had Stowers up at his grill. Richardson open 3. Yes, sir! Tie ball game in Peoria.
Richardson's feeling it, and don't want to let him get going if you're the Lions, because that's what he can do. He'll score anywhere on the court.
For a player like Richardson who draws so much defensive attention, that's about one of the easiest shots that you'll get. He made him pay. Rams starting to feel it. Good defense from Bradford. Sturdivant cooking out of a phone booth right now. And now Page is challenging Stowers. Here we go. You've got to love this.
Oh my goodness, Stowers trapped.
How about this Manual defense? Great pass, better offense. And Duffin lays it in.
That reminds me of the very first possession of this game, John, just dribbling around and everyone's locked up by black jerseys, and then all of a sudden someone cuts to the rim, and a beautiful find by a Lion down on the block, and Lions go back up top by 2.
This place is just ready for another big play. They want to explode. They're going to need some Velcro on their butts to keep them in their seats tonight. Here's Brown in the corner for the Rams. Now gives it back. It's Page. Driving in. 3 Lions were ready. Stowers, they got numbers on Richardson. Bradford tries to draw the charge. Count it, and 1.
Beautiful job by Stowers, not putting all of his body weight into the defender, drawing enough contact for the foul, and focusing enough to finish that and get the old-fashioned 3-point play if he can convert this free throw.
one of the first times we've seen Stowers and Richardson go man-on-man tonight. And Stowers won that battle. Got to give credit to Bradford. He looked like he may have been in position to draw the charge, but I think he dragged that foot just a bit too late. Richardson grabs the miss. Going to be very fun watching him stay at home and play in Peoria next year, Dalton. I mean, how about Brian Wardle being able to get the local guys out? He's got Richardson and Matthew Zobrist coming in next year.
Yeah, and for any coach, you got to be able to recruit the guys in your area. And 4-star Dietrich Richardson heading just up the road to Bradley, and I am pumped.
It's one of the best recruiting classes that Brian Wardle's ever had. In his time as a Brave. Approaching 10 years on the hilltop.
And you just don't see 4-stars go to mid-majors very often, John. And the fact that Bradley's got one, it's exciting stuff in Peoria.
That was a huge commitment. He picked Bradley over schools like Wyoming and Vanderbilt, and it's a major credit to stay in Peoria. And, Vanderbilt's Power 5 team down in the SEC. Now, given it's not maybe Kentucky or the other bigger SEC teams, but it's SEC.
And they've had lots of success this year, and I think Vandy's going to be playing in March. But, yeah, 4-star chooses to stay home and going to be happier.
Rams bringing that press back a little bit. Now it's Postlewaite guarding Sturdivant, who recently picked up his first college offer back on a Wednesday. Rome City Institute came calling for the Lions senior guard, who's got it now. Stowers had it poked out. Now here's the matchup everyone's been waiting for. Stowers trying to go with that left hand. And his shot comes up short. That one would have been nice.
Great defense.
Now Richardson Euro steps in and backs in Stowers. He couldn't foul there.
Nope, he just had to go straight up. A quick turnover. Won't go.
Richardson, his foot just creeped over the end line. Great effort by the Rams.
Fantastic effort indeed, and you just cannot lull yourself to sleep at all when you're out there on the court. A quick turnover there, and a nice job by Taj Tolliver. Quick hands to steal that one back. Unfortunately, didn't turn in any points, but I think it sends a message, if nothing else.
See the fans still filing in here in the Lions' Den. It's about as full as we've ever seen it.
And timeout. Well, it was called there by Stowers. He didn't like anything he saw as Manuel does go to that full court press. And then you mentioned that there at the beginning of that first quarter. Neither team was pressing, trying to feel each other out a little bit and see what the opposition's offense is going to look like before you start pressing. But it looks like the press is starting now, and I'd be surprised if it goes away.
Definitely, and again, quite a quick moment again. I want to remind you can dive deeper into the stories that you care about on CSM Overtime. Get feature stories, breaking news, nightly roundups of area scores, and plenty more on CSM Overtime. Visit clutchsportsil.com/overtime and take your fandom to the next level. And speaking of the next level for these teams is going to be the playoffs. Going to look at this Class 2A Sherrard Sectional, Dalton, where Manuel's going to be playing. Look at all these strong teams. El Paso, Gridley, Tremont, P&D, Normal U-High, Bloomington Central Catholic. That is going to be absolutely stacked full of local talent.
Yeah, that's just an absolute dream if you're a Central Illinois basketball fan, seeing all those teams in the same sectional. And I wouldn't have a clue who to say is going to come out of that, but whoever it is going to have a real good shot at state. I can tell you that much.
I think even though Manuel may not come in with the best record, I think they are got to be most people's favorites. But got to be careful of those other teams like Tremont and P&D, who was sub 500 last year and still won a regional. So we could see maybe Manuel, P&D face off in the playoffs. Who knows?
And it's full of a lot of those teams that, don't have the records that jump off the page and scream state title contender to you, but that's just because they're in such tough conferences and they're playing super tough competition, multiple times a week.
I'll tell you, in case you're maybe not from the area, not quite super familiar with Manuel, the conference they play in the Big 12, probably better than any other conference that any other 2A school plays in. Blocked from behind, Humbles. And we get a foul there on Foy. That will be just his first.
Yeah, and Foy's had a good game, and we're minute 52 away from the first half coming to a close. I don't think foul trouble will be an issue for him, but just a little bit too much contact with the hands. He tried to pull it away at the last second. The referee was right there on it.
And fouls haven't been a huge factor in this one so far. Stowers, though, it does have 2 for Peoria. Here's Tolliver on the wing. Nice find of Richardson. Goes up and around and blocked by Foy. It's a block party here in Peoria.
Everyone just getting up and making sure nothing comes easy around the rim. And just fantastic, hard-nosed defense without fouling. And yeah, back to your earlier point about fouls, John, this is exactly what you want to see. You want to see low numbers in the foul column when you have this many superstars playing, because, you know, it can kind of take away from the joy of the game when both teams have their stars sidelined with fouls. Just ask University of Illinois.
Richardson, acrobatic finish. Up and under, through contact, and that is why he's a 4-star right there. Richardson's got 11 for Manual.
And the best players in the area, they have that ability to turn something out of nothing, and that's exactly what that was. Richardson didn't have anyone open, but he put his head down, got to the rim.
Can't give Manual their first lead, though, and a pass that's read like a book. Stowers almost came away with it, goes flying into the crowd. Still a loose ball, and it ends up in the hands of Tolliver.
Manual wisely going to slow this possession down.
1 minute to play here before the half. 15-15. This is about the type of game we expected, Dalton. This maybe even could be first one to 30 or 35 tonight.
Yeah, and I don't really know whose favor that works in. As you said, Peoria, they haven't won a game where they've scored less than 50, but that could very well change here tonight just because of the super tough defense played by both teams.
Foul before the shot. Postlethwaite tried to get one to go from the free throw line. That one will go on Duffin, his first.
That was an offensive foul.
Oh, my apologies there.
It was on 22.
Yeah,
it was on Humbles. Yeah, Humbles with a little bit too much contact.
That's why they pay you the big bucks, Dalton, to fix my mistakes. Stowers brings it back in. Nigel Moore found Stowers, and he double dribbled with it.
Wow, that's an interesting call. Stowers immediately throwing his hands up, and yeah, he did pick that ball up and start dribbling again, but it was tipped, and almost always you don't get a whistle on that type of play, but referee had a better vantage point at it than I did, so I'll take his word for it.
So this will likely be the last possession of the first half. Manual could give themselves the lead going into the locker room, or we might head in all tied up. 6 to go. Now 5. Tolliver going right. Feeding Postlethwaite off of a line with 0.7 to go. Catch and shoot time for the Rams.
Yeah, or just send Richardson to the rim, throw it up there, and then make something happen.
Referee explained the call to Lions head coach Daniel Ruffin. Trying to find somebody. Humbles off the glass and in. Count the basket.
Nice job.
Manual leads 17-15 after the bucket from Humbles, his first of the night.
Nice job cutting to the rim there, using that big body to get to the rim and not get
Way
blocked.
starts
Manual the first of the night. No better time to have it than going
you
into the
put
locker
customers
room.
first. Make sure we meet every expectation and make a long.
So 17-15 here at the break. Rams leading the Lions, and again, the star players have been showing out. You know, Richardson's got 11, Stowers has 8. I'd venture to guess they're probably going to score more than what they did last time, because Richardson had 12 last time out against Peoria, as Stowers only had 7.
Yeah, that's a solid take. I think that's almost for sure going to hit, and I mean, it's pretty much well be expected. We talked a lot about the complementary players as well, but at the end of the day, those are the two top dogs, and they're doing majority of the work and just putting their best foot forward in a game that's ever so important.
Lots of defense in this first half, lots of big plays. Richardson's had some nice shots. Peoria's had some nice finishes. I love the aggressive mindset from both teams. You can just tell that these are 10 junkyard dogs out on the floor at any given time here tonight.
Yeah, without a doubt. And the tension is just risen by the fact that they've already played each other twice. And how oftentimes in a rivalry do you get to play each other 3 times? And moreover, they split the first 2. So both teams, they're not playing again, so this is the rubber match, and you can see that showing out there on the court tonight.
Manual holds a slim lead. We'll take a quick break and then come back and break down the first half, take a look at other games from around the area. Come back in our WMBD Game of the Week, powered by us at Clutch Sports Media. Jonathan Michael here alongside with Dalton Carmine, Josh Messenger, and Kayla Hollowell here tonight. And right back after these messages, don't go anywhere.
Welcome to Braskies. This is your home away from home. First down to last call, we're serving up the good times. Food, drinks, music, and games all under one roof. At Braskies, you'll find what you're looking for.
The heart of Illinois needs volunteers, and you can make a difference. Be part of a global community of people who care. Discover the joy and satisfaction that comes with improving your community and the lives of the people living in it. United Way connects volunteers who are ready to work with opportunities in the local area, driving real change made by individuals like you. Join United Way in improving the lives and communities around us all. Sign up today at volunteer.hoyunitedway.org.
Take the hassle out of pavement restoration with Purdue Pavement Solutions. Whether seal coating, crack sealing, or parking lot repair. And now featuring pavement sweeping. For professional quality pavement craftsmanship, trust Purdue Pavement Solutions.
Meadows Avenue Tap. Slots powered by Gold Rush Gaming, the gold standard in video gaming. Lunch service starting at 11. Meadows Avenue Tap. Discreet gaming, great food, great friends. Our customers have won over 60 million lifetime. Meadows Avenue Tap, East Peoria.
Hi, I'm Jim Arnold with Wayne Dalton Sales and Service. Improve the curb appeal of your biggest investment, your home, with a new Wayne Dalton garage door. Or for repairs on your existing door, call us for service even on Saturdays. Wayne Dalton Sales and Service. It's in the name because it's what we do.
At Ham's Furniture, we have your comfortable, affordable recliners, mattresses, and more. And we offer free local delivery.
Hi, I'm Russ at Ham's Furniture, inviting you to stop in and see what's new today.
Ham's Furniture at 347 Court Street in downtown Pekin.
Welcome back to Peoria High. Go Bull. Girls with flags out there now, giving a bit of a halftime performance. Again, Jonathan Michael, Dalton Carmine here in the booth with you. And Dalton, and these two teams very familiar with each other. LaShawn Stowers and Dieter Richardson especially have played with each other since about the third grade. They're best friends. And, you know, it's a friendly competitiveness, you know, at most of the time when it's on the floor. These two teams definitely do very much want to beat each other, though, and this is what LaShawn Stowers said about facing off with Dietrich Richardson. He says it's just big for the city vibes. It's just good to go against him and compete. And I'll tell you, the vibes are pretty high right now on both sides of this gym.
And the competitiveness just as high, John. And I think this is such a good rivalry because the best rivalries are when you're out there, you're battling 110% of the time, every year, every game. Doesn't matter what the records are. Doesn't matter what the preseason expectations are for each team. When you're going out there and giving your all against your rival, that's what makes it so great. And even better, when you guys just respect each other. You know that the other team has had great success against you in the past. You know how badly they want to beat you. They want to beat you just as much as you want to beat them. That's what makes rivalries so great, and specifically that's what makes this rivalry so great.
Most definitely. And as for Dieter Richardson, he did not mince his words about what this game would be. This was after their last game. He says, we're going to get them again. That is a confident Dieter Richardson after that one. Again, after that win that they had 47-43 back on January 3rd. And his team has got a narrow lead right now, but Richardson has been playing very well. And in games like these, you talk the talk, you got to walk the walk, and Dieter Richardson's been doing it.
I mean, straight to the point. And when you're as good of an athlete as he is and you're putting up the numbers that he is, I don't have any issues with you know, talking a little bit of smack or sending a shot the other team's way. You know, you're going out there and you're playing like this. This is perfectly acceptable. He does have the play to back it up. Everybody is seeing that here tonight.
Definitely a big night of basketball around the area. Some other games going on of note in the Big 12. P&D looking to get a win against Bloomington. Opportunity there for the Irish. Normal Community taking on Diddy Robinson and the Danville Vikings tonight as well. Some Heart of Illinois Conference games alongside Richwoods. They're taking on Champaign Centennial. Also in Big 12 action tonight, but all sorts of games. Large school, small school, you name it, but this is probably the epicenter of high school basketball in all of Central Illinois here tonight at the Lions Den.
It's scoreboard watching season, John. You just, as soon as you're done, you want to go check and see how other teams did, and if you can move up in the standings, who's moving down. It's a great time to be a basketball fan.
February is one of the best months of the year. Maybe not for weather, but certainly for basketball. Working here through halftime, about 3.5 minutes to go until the second half gets going. We'll take a quick break here again on Clutch Sports Media. Come right back after this.
Need an injury lawyer? Get a fighter. Get a street lawyer like Todd Strong. He's not afraid to get his hands dirty. He'll fight for your rights. Get Todd Strong. He fights like a street lawyer.
My name is Todd Strong, and I've been representing injury victims for over 25 years. I have a team of lawyers that also assist me in the handling of our cases that have aggressive passion to represent injury victims and get the best outcome possible.
It's time to trade up. A job is just a place you go to work. A career is a path that moves you forward. Trade your job for a career in welding, HVAC, medical assisting, dental assisting, and more with hands-on training at Midwest Technical Institute. At MTI, you don't just get an education, you learn a valuable set of skills you can build on for a lifetime. It's time to trade up. Get the training you need for your new career at MTI.
And they're going to look at the state champions banners for Peoria High, 1908, 1977, 2003, 2004, and 2012. How about the 1908 one, Dalton? That was the first ever IHSA state championship game held. And it was won by none other than the Peoria High Lions, who have state dreams and aspirations this season. This is already, Dalton, their first 20-win season since that 2012 state championship squad. Almost hard to believe.
Yeah, and they've got plenty of opportunities to get that number up to 24, 25 as we head into March. And yeah, just so much history in this building, so much history in this program, and a team with high expectations every single year, and more often than not, they live up to those expectations.
And, especially for some state championship teams, it's all about weathering the storm. And, Peoria High, they've been hot and cold this season, but they've been able to bounce back whenever they have gotten cold. You see, they won their first 10 games. They were 10-0. They beat Manual and Bolingbrook down at Decatur, and that kind of put everyone on notice right away from the start of the season. Then they won the State Farm Holiday Classic, which we saw them down there in Bloomington Normal going into the new year. That came after their only loss of 2024 to Fenwick. Then after the State Farm Holiday Classic, they played a lot of games in a short amount of time. Tired legs caught up to them. They lost 5 of 7, although one of those wins was against Metamora. But since that stretch, they've won 5 in a row. And like we said at the top of the broadcast, playing some good, consistent basketball. Heading into tonight, they're looking to keep that win streak going.
Yeah, and you said it, John, sometimes when it comes to basketball, the team that wins it all is not necessarily always the best team. It's just who's the hottest and who's playing well. And in Peoria High, looking at the rest of their schedule, I think they got a really, really good chance to, win every game the rest of the way out, aside from maybe 1 or 2. And if they can do that, they can stay hot going into March. Eventually, they'll find themselves in Champaign. If they can keep that up, as they're about ready to start half number 2. Everybody strap in. A 2-point game in favor of Manual. Here we go, partner.
And here we go indeed. I unfortunately do not have a seatbelt buckle attached to my chair, but if we had one, I think I would definitely need it. This one is going to be good, folks. Here's the Lions. Will start out patiently just like they did in the first quarter. Russell was looking for Sturdivant. Tough pass to make.
Yeah, Russell wants Sturdivant to kind of float towards that corner where he can, that smooth stroke, bang out a 3, but just not there. A little bit of miscommunication for the Lions. Reset on defense, and now Richardson will bring the ball up for the Rams.
Richardson's the only player with multiple field goals for Manual. The other 3 have gone to Taj Tolliver, Reggie Postlewaite, and Josh Humbles. Those 4 have been the scorers for Manual tonight.
And Peoria High going with Spencer Russell on Dietrich Richardson, just like they started the game.
It has not been Richardson versus Stowers like it was for most of the last matchup. As here's Page backing in. Now Postlewaite finds Richardson, and he gets fouled down in the paint. That one going on Sturdivant.
Yeah, honestly, a smart play by Sturdivant because he had Richardson backing him down under the hoop, and that was an easy 2, maybe an and 1 for Richardson, but I don't mind the foul at all.
Richardson tried to almost bounce it off of a Ram and go right back up with it. At least it appeared that might be what he was doing there. Stowers hopping into the lane. He's in lots of trouble and gets bailed out with a foul there. You see 4 Manual players all collapsing.
That's going to get Page going in, trying to pry the ball away from the strong hands of Stowers. Got too much of his arm, so Lions basketball under the hoop. Looking to tie this one up.
Foul went there on Terrence Page. Wild shot there from Russell, but he might be headed to the line.
Yeah, I believe he is.
And he's a little banged up and gets back up nicely. Good to see.
Yeah, he's a football superstar, Spencer Russell, so he's no stranger taking a little bit of contact either from the floor or another player, but that was a nice job drawing some contact. Didn't get it to go, but he'll go to the line.
So Russell a chance to score his second and third points of the game and tie this one up.
One thing I'm noticing, John, is it's not always the scoring with Spencer Russell. As you said, he's not the leading scorer. I don't even think he's second on the team, but he just does the little things right, and that's exactly what you need out of your point guard. He just patrols the court really well, doesn't make any silly fouls or silly turnovers very often. He does the little things right, and I can appreciate that as a basketball fan.
And, for a lot of these supplemental, or I should say complimentary players for both Peoria High and Manual, it's all about just kind of accepting your role. None of them are really the main guys as Humboldt gets it to go. But, you can still be a star in your role and, be noticed by a lot of people because, your star players aren't always going to have big games every time.
Yeah, exactly. And, you don't make it to state and you don't win state without depth on that bench, John, and depth around your star player or players. Both these teams, plenty of that. It's really good to see.
Good kick out here. Sturdivant's 3 is good. Lions surge back in front.
And exactly what Sturdivant needed. He's finally on the board. He's had a couple opportunities, but that one gets hit to go, and maybe that could get him going, and 1.
How do you do it? Dietrich Richardson, that's his second and 1 of the night. He's got 13 and puts the Rams right back in front. Last time these teams faced off, Dalton, there was 12 lead changes and 2 ties in the second half alone. You might see a little bit of deja vu here tonight.
That's just the brand that both these teams play.
Rams by 2. 5.5 to go here in the third.
And coming out with that trap press as we expected, John.
Yeah, Postlewaite and Breedlove have played well up top, especially with Breedlove's length. He's a very wiry kind of guy, Manual's football quarterback. He's got an offer to go play at Loris College up in Dubuque, Iowa. Second team All Big 12 quarterback at that last season.
Yeah, he's just another one of the many players out there that get it done on the gridiron just as well as they do on the basketball court.
I'd like to see what LaShawn Stowers and Dietrich Richardson could do if they were on the football field.
You and me both, brother.
Sturdivant knocks one down from deep, and the lead goes right back to Peoria High. I think that's either 3 or 4 lead changes already, Dalton, in this second half. I'm going to start keeping count.
Yeah, that's a great idea, partner, and that's just beautiful ball movement by the Lions, getting Sturdivant, who seems to have a hot hand in this second half, wide open for a 3.
Postlewaite, an aggressive player, goes in, and the third chance falls for Humboldt. He's got 2 quick buckets.
Great job by Humboldt, never giving up on that play. Almost forces a turnover. Jump ball.
The arrow will favor the Rams. Great defense there from Manual. You've said that multiple times tonight. Peoria High, they just can't afford to be lousy with the basketball. I'm not saying that they were there, but both being Bradley basketball fans, we've seen our fair share of turnovers over the last couple of games.
Absolutely, brother.
You got to take care of the basketball.
They will just kill you. Those turnovers. Humbles again. That was Page, pardon me.
That was Page, who had that team high 15 in the last matchup between these two. That's his first one tonight. Stowers Kicks it over, Russell to tie it up. Yes, sir!
And Peoria High is really starting to feel it from beyond the arc, John. Exactly what the doctor ordered for the men in white.
As a stark contrast to their approach to the first half, which is largely get into the lane, now they're being able to stretch the floor. Postlethwaite, tough baseline J is no good, and Foy brings in the miss.
And shooting is contagious, John, and a lot of basketball is just figuring out when you have it and when you don't. Another lousy turnover. Rams take over possession.
Sowers communicating with Sturdivant there, not quite on the same page. Tie ball game here, 3:53 to go in the third again. These first two matchups decided by a combined 5 points. Here's Richardson, turnaround in the paint. Buckets.
I mean, what do you even do about that if you're the defense? He's so tall, so athletic, so lanky. He can rise above the defense, and that shot is there for Richardson more or less whenever he wants it.
Sowers sizing up Paso. He's been aggressive with the left hand tonight. Blocked away by Page.
Great help defense.
Slid over into the perfect spot. That's textbook. Now it's Russell trying to challenge Richardson. Now it's Stephen Williams looking for his first bucket. Stowers doubled on the baseline. Sturdivant for three. Rattles out, but Foy brings it in. Try number two. Yes, sir.
Man, and this place is rocking. Sturdivant 3 for his last 4 from beyond the arc. Point guard is feeling it.
He is starting to heat up. Can't leave Sturdivant open now. He's got 9 for the Lions, and that's now a team lead.
And it looks like Peoria High's defense dropping into kind of a 2-1-2 here to combat the aggressive play of the Rams. Nearly a turnover.
6 lead changes already in this fourth quarter. Make it 7.
Richardson going up like a wide receiver and just plucking that ball from the air. Coming down strong, going up even stronger.
18 for Richardson here tonight. Gotta watch where Sturdivant is. Being guarded by Humbles right now pretty tightly. Nice slip to Stowers. Foy got fouled.
Nice job by
Foy. Some great passing in this ball game, Dalton.
I don't even know how many times they dribble into the paint, and it looks like they have nowhere to go, and all of a sudden a lightning quick pass down low on the blocks. Both teams executing that very well, and it more often than not, it leads to points, or it leads to this. Your guy getting to the free throw line.
So it'll be Foy to head to the line, and he had 6 in the first quarter, but has not scored since. Shooter's touch. Makes it 30-30. Substitution as Duffin comes in and Williams out for Peoria High. And for the 8th lead change of this frame. You got it.
Back and forth we go. Punch, counter, punch.
Now Lions bringing a little bit of pressure, and they sag back now. Page to set the screen, and Richardson doesn't take it. Bradford back in the game for Manuel. Breedlove cutting baseline, and they'll slow things down here. Postlethwaite, half spin and got it to fall.
Ooh, that is smooth for Postlethwaite's 4th point of the game. Looked like he's about to spin to go to the rack. He pulls back out, throws up a jumper, touch every part of the rim, but it goes in.
Sturdivant drives in, gets fouled, but back to Postlethwaite, though. He's such a shifty, fast combo guard, and a lot of big seniors for this Rams team. You got Richardson, Breedlove, Page, Caden Latta as well. And, eventually, unfortunately, you don't want to say it, but they're all going to graduate here at the end of the year. So who's going to be that guy from Manual? It very well next year could be Reggie Postlethwaite, who plays AAU for Mid-Pro Academy.
Yeah, Postlethwaite, that's who my money is on to kind of take over the helm as a leader in this program.
Breedlove fouled Foy as he went up, so that's 5 on the Rams. Lions will shoot 2 in the bonus. Breedlove's second foul. A lot of that Mid-Pro Academy connection here tonight. That was a top-tier program ran by Gavin Sullivan. Postlethwaite plays for them as well. Humbles, plays for Mid-Pro Academy. They were teammates with Phoenix Foy from Peoria High on their, I believe, 16U team last summer. So they're probably going to get bumped up to the big boy level 18U next year.
Yeah, absolutely. You start playing tougher competition, it prepares you for your high school season.
Foy's second is no good, so 32 all here in the Lions' Den. Here's Brown working it around.
Look at that ball movement.
Bradford going right. Nothing there. Finds Postlewaite. Another mid-range on the way. Good.
That is just money from Reggie Postlewaite. Stepping in where the defense isn't, rising up above and drilling a shot. And the Rams right back on top by 2.
Not only have we seen lots of lead changes, we've seen lots of ties. Foul called on Manuel, Marvin Jordan. Manuel head coach in his 4th season, a little upset there.
Yeah, I don't think they're big fans of that call. I think Sturdivant just fell down on his own, but regardless, referee deemed that it was too much contact, and Sturdivant, who's had the hot hand here in this 3rd quarter, will head to the free throw line.
We'll have to see, though. Sometimes the free throw line might be even too close. Not there for Sturdivant.
No announcer's jinx.
You see there on your screen, a tight ball game. If this game goes to overtime tonight, we will have a special code that we will give you all that will allow you to access your first month for just $1. You heard that right.
That is a steal, partner. And that's not an offer you want to miss out on. So I'd be rooting for overtime if I was you at home, and I think I am too. Who doesn't want some free basketball between these two fantastic squads?
Sturdivant tied it back up. That's the 4th tie, I believe, unofficial count, by the way, of this 3rd quarter.
Yeah, Manuel's not going to push anything or rush anything here wisely.
I would watch Postlewaite, though, if you're Peoria High. He's had the hot hand for the Rams. Sturdivant's had a big frame for the Lions to keep them in this one. They'll wait to 5. Now Postlewaite over to Bradford. Deep 3, too strong. And that's how the 3rd quarter will end. 8 more minutes to decide it all. Maybe we even get overtime. Stay tuned to find out. Tell your friends, tell your family to tune in now. CIProud.com. Back after these messages for the 4th quarter.
Welcome to Braskies. This is your home away from home. Food, drinks, music, and games all under one roof. So bring all your friends, bring the whole family, because we could all use a bit more Braskies.
In 1957, Cyril and Lewis Keller invented the skid steer in Rothsay, Minnesota to make farming and agriculture work much easier. Since then, Bobcat has become an integrated and trustworthy household brand. Being the first to bring the mini excavator to North America, Bobcat revolutionized the industry with compact tractors, utility tractors, mowers, and other equipment. Quick and agile, Bobcat is one tough animal. Locally owned and operated since 2001 in Bloomington and Peoria, Illinois.
Welcome back to Peoria Inside the Lions Den. I'm Jonathan Michael alongside Dalton Carbine. Dalton, we've brought up so many times, this is the rubber match, a split season series. You look at the scores there when they played. Again, the second half of that last game, 12 lead changes, 2 ties. We're well on pace to exceed both those totals here in this second half.
Yeah, I wouldn't expect anything else from these two squads. And whenever these two teams play each other, you could just crumble up the records and throw them out the window because it's always a battle on the hardwood between these two intercity rivals. This one tonight, no different. And the best part is they're knotted up heading into the 4th quarter. About to leave everything out there on the court for these last 8 minutes.
Who is going to make the big shot? So many options for both these teams. Bradford, a big steal. Now in the open floor, he got fouled by a Lion. I believe that was Nigel Moore, the freshman. Good hands there from Tony Bradford, who is the son of fairly famous rapper around the area, Montana of 300. Tony refers to himself as Point God. on Twitter, not a point guard.
I like it. Self-confidence, young man. I absolutely love that.
He misses the first, though. We'll see if he can give the Rams the lead. Sets and shoots, he does. Much better looking shot that time around.
I just want to point out that this fast style of play, John, this is taught clearly at the younger ages because that JV game was insane right ahead of this one. That one went down to the wire as well, and they played just like these two teams with all the pressure.
And you were paying a little bit more of attention to that game than I was, but didn't, I think, either Manual or Peoria High come back from like a 14, 15-point deficit?
That's right. Manual was down 14 points, and they came back, and Peoria High ended up winning the game by 4, but still.
Nice move from Russell, doesn't end in the basket. Now this is a big opportunity for the Rams to potentially go up 2 scores with a 3.
I don't even know last time anybody went up 2 scores in this one, John. It's been knotted up more often than not.
It has been punch, counter punch all night long. Richardson, a rare shot that's off the mark. Now Stowers motoring up the floor. Nice patience in the lane, but he can't get it to fall. Foy, though, was right there, and a good weak side rebound. He will head to the line.
Yeah, nice job by Phoenix Foy not giving up on that play, because when Stowers gets into the paint, that's when he's finishing 9 times out of 10. But Foy, to his credit, is there that 1 time out of 10 to get that rebound. And what do you know? He's right back at the free throw line, where he's been a lot in this second half.
He has been very aggressive. And again, everyone hears about LaShawn Stowers, the first player out of the mouths of anyone when you talk about Peoria High. But Phoenix Foy is arguably, got to be the number 2 option and a very strong player in his own right. Still a year to go, so college coaches maybe starting to call him.
Yeah, he'll be playing at the next level, I think, almost for sure. He's definitely got what it takes, and who knows, he'll get bigger, he'll get stronger, he'll get better next year as a Lion as well.
At 6'5" as a forward, a little bit undersized, but maybe he's got a future playing as a small forward in college potentially, and maybe he hits a growth spurt. Maybe he gets up to even 6'8", 6'9", who knows? These kids are not done growing yet.
These are just high schoolers.
Another tie ball game. As the Rams work it around, is Bradford, Humbles, Page, Richardson, and Postlewaite on the floor for the Rams. It's Stowers, Duffin, Foy, as the shot rims out there for Page. Those 3 on the floor for Peoria High alongside Russell and Sturdivant.
And what do you know? It's Richardson on Stowers here at the beginning of the 4th quarter.
This is what everyone came to see. Stowers, great pass, and finds Foy.
Just
threaded the needle.
Beautiful look, eyes in the back of his head from the big man.
And now Humbles. Crossover, Euro step, and in.
And that's 8 for Humble. Oh, what a game he's had as a complimentary player. Just getting to the rim, doing a lot of the dirty work.
Really ratcheted up here in the second half. More great D from Postlewaite, and we get a timeout for Daniel Ruffin and the Lions. I want to talk things over. Still playing timeouts from either team. That's the second called on Peoria High. So again, I want to give a quick word while we have a chance again for CSM overtime. Remember, if this game does go to overtime, we will give you a discount code that you can use on ClutchSportsIL.com when you're signing up for a plan and get your first month for $1. And you can also scan the QR code and it should now pop up on your screen. And plenty of stories about not just, boys basketball, not just Peoria, but also down in Bloomington, Normal as well. Boys basketball, girls basketball. Our Mark Wagner is at Washington and Canton, a girls basketball game tonight. We'll have a feature story from that game as well. All of the teams of local coverage.
Yeah, and plenty of teams, I think, in the area, John, are poised for a deep run into March. And this makes it so much more fun when you have teams that can really get it done deep into March. Makes it more fun for everybody to pay attention to high school basketball in the area.
These are 2 teams that I tell everybody right now, these are 2 teams on my short list of teams that can make it to state. Alongside I would also say Metamora and Morton. up in Class 3A.
Yeah, definitely. I don't think anyone's arguing with you on that. And on the girls' side, I feel confident in P&D going back to back. I believe that's Class 2A. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yes,
yeah,
that is
P&D,
correct.
they remain in 2A. They've certainly got what it takes, even after losing Maya Wardle, but they've got what it takes in Washington.
Stowers in some trouble, goes up and lays it in.
Nice finish, but
Lions back out in front.
Washington girls want to give them their credit too. Only one loss on the year, and they're favorites in their class to win state as well.
Yeah, I believe Panthers are 28-1. They only lost by 1 point. Rams looking to tie this one back up or get back in the lead. Dalton's, I have a funny feeling someone's going to drain a big three in the next couple minutes to just blow the roof off of this place.
Yeah, Manuel taking it nice and slow. Don't want to turn the ball over at this point.
Foul on Duffin as he was guarding Richardson. So that's the second foul on Peoria. Just one on Manuel here in this fourth quarter. And the first on Duffin tonight. Stowers still at 2 fouls. Nice job from him staying out of trouble after picking up both of those in the first frame.
Yeah, almost a lost storyline, but yeah, nice job by Stowers to stay within himself.
Here's Taj Tolliver. Sturdivant guarding him closely. Over to Humbles. Now Postlewaite was open for a second. Hops into the lane. He traveled.
Man.
Rams fans do not like that call, and that is a 50-50 one, a very tough one to make.
Yeah, Black and Orange faithful are not fans of that call and think it was more of a hop step than a travel, but yeah, as you said, John, 50-50, and that one goes the Lions' way.
That was a great move there from Reggie. Up and under from Jacob Duffin. 4-point lead, Lions.
And the freshman off the bench with a nice, cool 4 points. Nice job by Duffin.
Duffin had 10 in a win over Galesburg on Saturday. That was back at the Manual shootout. Richardson drives in. He gets fouled. So the approach right now for the Rams is just be aggressive, draw fouls. They're 2 away from getting into the bonus.
Yeah, and that's more often than not can win you some games when you are in the bonus and your opponent is not. Live at the free throw line, and you got to make the free throws, obviously, but I think the coaching staff for Manuel's comfortable with where they're at right now in that regard.
Here's Richardson finding some contact. There's foul number 4. This Manuel team, Dalton, just so aggressive on both sides of the ball. They're playing like they need this win more, and they do.
They absolutely do. You can see the hunger. Losing 5 in a row by a combined score of 20, that does things to you. That's really, really frustrating when you know how much talent you have and you just can't get over the hump. But this would be a massive way to get over that proverbial hump. Getting a win over your rival and a top 10 team in the class above you, nonetheless.
And one of those losses was on the road to Champaign Central exactly 1 week ago. They lost on an improbable half-court buzzer beater to the Maroons. That one stung. And Richardson had that look to send it to overtime against Morton, and it just rimmed out. They lost by 2 to Normal Community on the road, a very good Ironman team. They also lost to a state-ranked Rock Island team by 4.
I think hungry for a win would be an understatement at this point in the Rams season, Johnny.
Stowers barreling in, no good, into the hands of Richardson, and the Rams have a chance to tie or take the lead. Postlewaite driving in, gliding in, I should say. But can't finish.
Got a good look. I think he just lost the handle a little bit. But, yeah, I like the ball being in Postlewaite's hands there.
Now Stowers driving in. Goes around Bradford. Count the bucket and 1. So many big and ones the old-fashioned way. And Stowers can put his team up by 5.
And that would seemingly feel like a 20-point lead the way this game is going, John. It's been back and forth, back and forth. And the big man Stowers with a very smart take, just putting that ball up in the general direction of the hoop and drawing the contact. He gets a lucky roll, and he will go to the line.
Crowd's starting to murmur. This could be a big turning point in this one. Stowers, though, can't get it to fall. Remains 4 for Marvin Jordan, Dietrich Richardson, and the Rams. Bradford staying aggressive, nearly dragged his foot there. And a timeout called by Manuel. Marvin Jordan wanted a foul on that play.
Yes, he did. And then Manuel, you got the timeouts to use, so I don't mind him taking that one as Bradford got himself in a tough spot. Yeah, with just 2:51 to go and a 4-point lead for Peoria High. I'm interested to see if Manuel's going to keep up that pressure, try to force those turnovers, because it seems like a lot of times the Lions are breaking that press semi-easily and getting to the rim as they want. And as we all know, they've been a better three-point shooting team in the second half.
Let's take a look at coming up for both these squads. Peoria High, they just have 3 games left in the regular season. At Limestone, at Urbana, at home against Champaign Central. You look at the 3 games they can probably win, but 3 teams that are all very sneaky good. Going to be interesting to see how they finish. And for Emmanuel, they will head south tomorrow to face Fishers from Indiana down at the O'Fallon Shootout. So a road trip upcoming for Emmanuel. Then they'll head to Springfield Southeast, non-conference foe. Then they'll head to Washington the day after that. And then they'll face a Normal West 1 week from now. So a busy week coming up for the Rams.
Man, props to the Rams here at the tail end of the season, going all the way to O'Fallon to play a bunch of competition that presumably they've never seen before. You know, just another look, a different look thrown at you by those teams they're going to be playing, and who knows? It could be a similar look to a team that you end up matching up with in the playoffs run. So I really like that. So good on the athletic programs for Emmanuel to schedule that and, you know, pick up a couple resume-boosting wins, perhaps.
A lot of people talking about that Fishers team from Indiana. They're 19-0 right now. So opportunity for the Rams to knock them from the ranks of the unbeaten. Bradford thought about a step back and then pulled back. 2.5 to play. It's Lions by 4. There's been 8 lead changes and 5 ties. Unofficial numbers here just in the second half alone.
And if you're Manuel, you got to really limit the empty possessions on the way out, because...
Beautiful pass from Richardson to Humbles, who's got 10.
Right on cue, but with the clock in the Lions' favor, they're going to slow stuff down, and nice job by Manuel, slice through the defense.
How about the passing we've seen from both Richardson and Stowers, and Richardson pokes it out. Here come the Rams with Tolliver.
Now they got a chance to tie it all of a sudden, John.
Bradford left wide open, no good. Rebound into the hands of Russell, but there were 3 Rams in the vicinity.
Oh, goodness, I like the look from Bradford, just unfriendly touch off the rim.
His shot just has been a little bit off tonight, but has played good defense. Stowers drives in, gets fouled. Stowers, now you gotta make your free throw series. Missed 1 or 2 tonight. If you make 2, it's still a 2-score game, Dalton.
Yeah, and that's probably what the rest of this game is going to look like. It's going to be that man at the free throw line. You got to make them, because why would you go away from the game plan if Stowers can make these free throws? He makes the first.
He's got 13 tonight. Richardson has a game-high 20 for Manuel. Josh Humbles also with 10 for Manuel, and Foy with 12 for the Lions. Both those players have been big. Second one rims out. Foy got it off of a Rams foot.
Again, Phoenix Foy doing the dirty work and doing the little things right. They've been doing it all game down there.
And that's the last foul that Manuel can commit before they put Peoria in the bonus. It goes on Postlewaite. Bradford will come out. Jaquan Brown back in for the Rams. Both teams will now be in the bonus the rest of the way out. And Russell finds Stowers. Under 90 ticks to play in regulation. Postlewaite. Aggressive defense despite being outsized. Stowers in some trouble. And Peoria High calls timeout. Manuel says they didn't really have possession.
Yeah, that's
really a dicey call right there, too.
It was awkward because Stowers let go of the ball and he didn't want to touch it again. He was afraid to get called for a double dribble, which I think was the right thing to do. And then after Manuel touched it, Peoria High gets it back and calls a timeout. I guess that's what happened. That's a really, really tough call for anybody to make.
Again, while we have a quick second, barely had our chance to catch our breaths in this one. One more time, if this game does go to overtime, remember that discount code that we will give you 1 month of CSM Overtime for $1. Your sports, your teams, your stories, all in one place. CSM Overtime. Visit clutchsportsil.com/overtime to subscribe. Even if this game does not go to overtime, Dalton Carmine, I mean, it's still plenty of coverage there for both these teams and also lots of other teams around the area that you won't find anywhere else.
It's the place to be right here, right now, partner. It is the place to be. Clutch Sports Media Overtime, our team of experts really putting together plenty of stories and pictures and features, everything you could possibly want. Cannot recommend it enough, especially at this time in the year.
You know, and we're going to have a lot more broadcasts coming up, especially in playoff season, so stay tuned to our social media pages for that. You can find us at Clutch Sports Media on Facebook and Instagram, Clutch Sports IL on Twitter or X, however you want to call it. We'll also have a game tomorrow. Morton and East Peoria, don't miss that one. That was going to be a good one in the Mid-Illini Conference.
Huge opportunity for the Raiders.
Opportunity to get a state-ranked win over the Class 3A number 3 Potters. Now driving in, Foy can't hang on to it. That could be a costly turnover, and the door is a little bit more open now for Manual.
Yeah, it's definitely open, partner, and that's an unforced error for the Lions. You do not have to rush that to the hoop. The clock is your friend right now, but yeah, Manual with a chance to tie it or get the game in between one, but you cannot leave this possession empty-handed.
You don't need a 3 here. Every broadcaster's favorite saying, we all know. Still plenty of time to make a comeback. Or maybe they'll tie things up. Who knows?
It's got to be that man right there.
Richardson driving in. No foul call. Off of a line, it stays with Manual. It's about the second best option or outcome there.
At least the
clock.
clock.
Richardson didn't get an and one.
At least the clock stops and you retain possession. That was a 50-50 call on whoever that was out on from my vantage point.
39.5. They inbound it to Humbles. Richardson has a screen. Had it open for a second, but didn't pull the trigger.
30 seconds. Manuel's got to hurry it up here.
What does Manual decide to do? They got to shoot Richardson. In and out. Humbles. He got it to go. Timeout called by the Rams, and what an offensive board from Josh Humbles.
My goodness, Humbles just slicing and dicing his way through the white jerseys, skying high, strong with the ball, getting the rebound, and he put it back up and in. But the coach for Peoria, Manual, decides to call the timeout, and obviously hindsight's 20/20, but I don't hate that timeout call at all.
No, I don't. That's smart coaching there from Marvin Jordan. He was in a bit of a tough spot. Now you can have a chance to, inbound the ball to who we want to, draw up a play, draw up something. The only negative for Manual is that did take some time off the clock. So if you don't score here, now it's looking a little bit tougher, but their half-court defense has been phenomenal tonight. You could easily get a press and get this ball right back. There's so many possibilities of what could happen in this last 22.5, which could end up lasting a couple minutes. Who knows?
I agree. I think that's definitely where we're headed. And just apply pressure to Peoria. They've been a little careless with the ball, Peoria High has. So just pressure them and do your absolute best to get that ball back. And right here, right now, you have two options. Either go to the hoop, try to get a quick 2, or draw something up for Richardson or someone else and try to get an open 3.
Look at the top of the key from 3 for Richardson. It's got a sting that he didn't make that one because, again, he had that look to send it to OT against Morton. It just rimmed out. He had the hot hand earlier, but Postlethwaite's also been big. They get it in. Page, no good. Rebound fought for. Manuel's got it. Put back up and in by Page. 1-point game, 12.4 to go.
They just won't go away, John. Another offensive rebound, and that is a heartbreaker for Peoria. If the Lions could have just come down with that ball, you got to think they're walking out of here with a W, but not so fast.
Third matchup between these two teams and the third instant classic. I mean, you can't write a much better season series, Dalton, between these two teams, and this will be the last time these two teams face off this season. Last time we see Dietrich Richardson and LaShawn Stowers play against each other. I mean, what else more can you ask for? I think overtime is the only viable thing you could ask for at this point.
Extra basketball. I don't really think anybody would complain about that, but Yeah, I mean, all I can say is I'm excited for next year. What are these two teams going to look like next year, and will we have similar outcomes? My gut is telling me yes.
Now, Peoria High, they need to be careful on this inbounds pass. You know, Manuel's going to be very aggressive. They really have nothing to lose by playing so. Now it's a matter of who do you inbound to. They're going to go to Stowers. He's double-teamed. Russell runs the baseline, gets it into Sturdivant. Not a bad option to shoot some free throws, and he will head there. 10.7 to go.
Yeah, I think a lot of that huddle there at that last time out for the Lions was, okay, who do we want shooting the free throws? And Sturdivant's had a fantastic second half from beyond the arc and has already hit a free throw already. So I think you definitely trust number 4 at the line with the game on the line, perhaps.
You need this board if you're Manuel, if he misses the second. First one, up and good. That was a good-looking shot there from Sturdivant. Not fazed by the pressure. I bet he's feeling it right now.
I bet you he is as well, and Peoria's going to pull Stowers off the line, not really attempt for this offensive rebound aside from Phoenix Foy, which wouldn't surprise me if he does get it.
He's been very active on the glass, but again, so has Page. 46-43. Duffy will check in for Sturdivant, and we'll get a timeout. All right, Dalton, put yourself in Marvin Jordan's shoes. Which player, I'll start with this way, which player do you want to take in this shot if you're Manuel?
Dietrich Richardson, because he's the best at all 3 levels, I would say. I trust him the most right now. And there's been a couple guys who have had really good games, such as Reggie Postlethwaite. Trust your 4-star, though.
Yeah, if it's not Richardson, I would say Postlethwaite for sure. He has been aggressive. He's drained a couple nice mid-ranges here tonight, but hasn't drained a 3. Manuel really hasn't hit that many 3s tonight. So, again, it's not like these teams, or Manuel is really that warmed up from behind the arc right now. You know, Bradford's had a couple looks that have fallen off. Richardson had that good look there that could have tied it up. But, boy, I just can't express how big that bucket was from Terrence Page on the 3rd chance.
Yeah, this game is more likely over if Page does not pull down that rebound. I still don't really know how he did it, but I'm interested to see here, John, does Manuel try to go straight to the rack? Because I would assume Lions will give them a layup. They don't want to foul and get an and 1. So do they go to the rack and then foul, try to do it again, or do they just chuck up a 3? We'll see.
I think they're pressing now. They're going to have to shoot it. Tolliver over to Postlethwaite. 3 to tie. No. Tip. Also no. Buzzer. Lions win.
Wowza, that's the look you want. Postlethwaite is open, had space, just couldn't quite get it to go. But what a game from that young man, Postlethwaite. He should not be hanging his head. And what a game from both sides again, John.
And so the streaks continue. Peoria High wins their 6th in a row. Manuel drops their 6th in a row. And all 3 of those games, their last 3 games, I should say, all been decided at the buzzer. Just gut-wrenching for the Rams right now.
When do they play again next year, John? They have schedules out yet? Because I am going to mark my calendar. What a season series between these two inner-city rivals. And the Lions just barely get the best of the Rams, but keep both these teams on your radar as we head into March.
Peoria High 2, Manuel 1. That's how this series ends here in the 2024-2025 season. Back to wrap things up here. Don't go anywhere. Stats, and we'll have some more analysis, some more hoops talk right after this message on CIProud.com.
Meadows Avenue Tap. Slots powered by Gold Rush Gaming, the gold standard in video gaming. Now serving breakfast Saturday and Sunday at 7. Meadows Avenue Tap. Great breakfast, discreet gaming. Our customers have won over 60 million lifetime. Meadows Avenue Tap, East Peoria.
AI is rewriting our world faster than many of us can understand it. As companies invest billions into machine learning, many of us are wondering, should we celebrate or should we be on guard? Sunday after the big game, we are kicking off a week of investigations of the expanding role of artificial intelligence, education, health, social media, and sports. We're getting you answers for some of your biggest questions. Project AI kicks off Sunday on WYZZ and continues all next week on WMBD News at 6.
And there you get a look at the aftermath of an all-out war between the Lions and the Rams tonight. Another CSM Classic, we'll brand it, ends in the favor of Peoria High, 46-43. Dalton, that was a good shot to end on if you're Manual, though.
Yeah, it wasn't quite in rhythm, but it was a pretty open look there for Postlethwaite, who had a really, really solid game at the point guard position, and that's what you want. It was an open look to tie the game, and again, the Rams unfortunately come up just short.
So Manual with the loss, they could fall as low as 6 in the Big 12, especially if Richwoods beats Centennial tonight. But I don't think they're really concerned about where they stand in the standings. They're just concerned about the playoffs again at this point. And again, they're just going to want to get that momentum back at some point. Going to be a tall task. Got another big test. Got to just put this one behind you as hard as that is to do, because you got a big opponent tomorrow down in O'Fallon.
Right, and these students, they do understand that. And it's so hard to just look past, when you're heartbreaker after heartbreaker after heartbreaker. That's so hard to do. And these are just kids. These are just high schoolers, but they understand that the playoffs are right around the corner. They feel really good about their odds going deep into March. So try your best not to hang your heads, Ram fans, because there's really not much to hang your head about despite these 6 heartbreaking losses.
And really, no matter what, if you're Manual, I mean, we have seen this team win a regional title in a season where they finished below 500 3 or 4 years ago. Many of you may remember that game against P&D, which they upset the Irish. So you can never count out these Rams. All these losses are doing is just making them more hungrier. So maybe that's not what you want to see if you're a future Rams opponent. But as for Peoria High, huge win for them. Should have bumped them up in the rankings a bit, but again, all about momentum. They've won 6 straight, and again, you take care of business against Limestone, Urbana, and Champaign Central. Yeah, you're winning 9 in a row heading into the playoffs, and all of a sudden Metamora and Morton are now looking at you like, we don't want to face the Lions because they also lost to them earlier in the season as well. This team could make it to Champaign.
The ceiling on this Lions team is just way up there in the sky, because they've shown the ability to come out and beat just about anybody. And if they do take care of business, and there's no gimmies in this league, John, but if they do take care of business against Urbana, Limestone, and Champaign Central, then they go into the playoffs on a 9-game winning streak. What else can you even ask for? They would be red hot, even more red hot than they are right now. And look out for the Lions. You do not want to step into their jungle.
Definitely do not, but what a game here from Peoria. You think of Peoria, you usually think of basketball. When you think of basketball in Peoria, you think of Manual and Peoria High. And when you think of Manual and Peoria High, you will think of games like this that you just saw here tonight. The Lions prevail 46-43 in their home den. That about wraps things up from all of us here, our Clutch Sports Media crew. We did a great job here tonight. Joshua Messenger behind our camera, Kayla Hollowell at the sticks, and my fantastic broadcast partner, Dalton Carmine. We'll see you tomorrow for Morton and East Peoria. Don't miss that. We can watch that one right here, same place at 6:30 p.m. as the Potters take on the Raiders. Lions, though, take the season series 46-43 and beat the Rams 2-1 overall. So long, folks. Have a great rest of your weekend, and we'll see you tomorrow night.